was good. It was good. The sun was shining where I was, so it was good.
Hey, obviously you guys gave Shane Thomas the scholarship, but even back to fall camp last year, you kind of said that he was a guy that you think is going to help you eventually. Like, what did you see then that kind of led to a moment like he just had?
Well, I mean, he really improved from last year to this year. His body got better. Defensively, I've always been impressed with him. But he continued to grow on the offensive end as well. And his understanding of what we're doing from a systematic standpoint is really good. He's a great teammate. He's about all the right things. So I saw it coming, and obviously we've had confidence to throw him into some games at some pretty big times.
How crucial is that development with how your guys' backcourt?
Yeah. I mean, thank goodness he came back ready with what has transpired, from an injury standpoint. So, defensively, he gives us someone we can go to that can guard. He can guard a bigger guy. He can guard quickness, and he understands the scouting report. And he follows it pretty well. So it's he's been a godsend the way he's been playing.
What's it like coaching guys like that where you saw how emotional that was? It means something to be a part of this. What's it like coaching?
I mean, it's rewarding. Shane is, his dad coached Division I basketball for a long time, and he's worked really hard, and he got an opportunity to give this Division I thing a shot at this level, and then to do all the things right to put yourself in a position where you earn a scholarship is a credit to him and his work ethic, and how he's approached things on a daily basis. So it was fun. It was neat to see the emotion of his family, just celebrating the fact that all of Shane's hard work paid off.
How did you orchestrate that? He said that he was pretty surprised with his sisters, said it was his grandma. So how did that work out?
Yeah, John McHugh came up with the idea, and we presented it to his parents. I don't think they knew exactly what was in there, but I think they had a decent idea. It was something of that sort. But they did wrap it up as a gift from his grandmother, so that was pretty creative. But I'm glad they caught it on video. You could just you could see the raw emotion and the joy, not just from Shane, but his parents and his sisters.
Like when we talked to you after the Nova game, you kind of had that laundry list of things you wanted to get done through these 10 days. What have you guys gotten done since you've been back on campus? What do you want to get done before the St. John's game?
Yeah, we had a couple practices after. One good practice the day after the Nova game, and then we did workouts the next morning. And everybody was back here yesterday, or 2 days ago, ready to go on the 27th, and we had a good practice late in that afternoon and a good one yesterday. So I think some of the bumps and bruises are gradually healing up, which is nice. So we've been able to have more of those guys on the practice floor more consistently, which obviously we need. So we're playing a really good team. So it's going to take a great effort on our part on Tuesday afternoon.
With the Hurrdat acclimation process, obviously you felt like this could be a week where could be a marginal towards that. What do you see?
Yeah, it's going to be a process. That's just the reality of it. He's missed so much, and we're trying to fast track it. So we're actually bouncing Mason and Jason over to the scout team back and forth a little bit, even though they need reps with the top team, just so we can get Fedor some reps, just so we can get a look at, is he grasping what we're asking him to do on both ends of the floor? Is he fitting in with the guys he's playing with? And it's going to take some time. It's going to be a process, but I don't think there's any question that before the season's over, I think he's going to be able to help us.
St. John's. I mean, last year their A game was pretty good. What have they done? This year in the offseason that has raised the
I mean, you could argue, Davon Smith and Kadari in the guard court maybe is as big of a portal land as anybody in the country in terms of two guards. And then they've, RJ's improved. Wilcher's was playing great at the end of last season. He's kind of carried that over. And then their inside guys are really giving them some good looks with their physicality and their ability to run the floor. So, this is a team that, they probably should have beat Baylor, lost in double overtime, and then lost a really close game to Georgia. They're 2 baskets away from being undefeated and ranked in the top 5 of the country. That's how good they are. And last night they played 11 guys against Delaware. They're just running guys in and out, and much like Alabama they have great depth. They've been able to recruit a really good roster.
They rebound almost 40% of their misses, and Ejiofor is a big part of that, almost 5 himself. How do you kind of manage, obviously needing Kalkbrenner to help, but also needing to make sure you get a body on him?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is we have to get him to miss, and then then your work starts, because to your point, Villanova rebounded about 40% of their misses. We did a decent job with them. It's just the difference with St. John's is they'll send more guys. Like, Smith from the point guard position will go in and rebound. So a lot of times your point guard, your off guard, they can kind of help on somebody else boxing out. This is a game where they have to be responsible for their own guy and understand that he's coming and trying to make some plays. So it's going to be a big part of the game. Our first shot defense is certainly going to be critical, but then our ability to, if we do give up an offensive rebound, let's put our defense back together and make sure it doesn't cost us.
What are you hoping to see from your team for physicality and toughness how this game?
Yeah, just carry it over from Villanova. Obviously, Villanova plays a certain way. That was a grinded out possession by possession game, so every possession mattered. And defensively, I thought there was a high level of shot making on their part. Unfortunately, we had a high level of shot making on our part. So, just the Big East is really good, and there's no nights off, and certainly Tuesday afternoon is going to be a challenging one.
Like with where the league stands metrically right now, I know Selection Sunday is a really long way away, but do you kind of impress on them the sense of urgency to get a win over one of the top teams in the league?
I mean, I impress on them to get a win on whoever the next team is. But right now I'm worried about practice here in about 30 minutes. So, we can stack some good days together in practice, and, that's going to carry over as the season moves forward. But, the guys understand it. It's St. John's is a really good team. They have some great wins. And it's a huge opportunity for us.
The ramifications of what February games feel like isn't in view yet, but 4 of your next 5 on the road. Is this one more pivotal because of just the nature of how challenging your upcoming slate's going?
Yeah, I mean, you play them when you play them. You don't really get any control over that. And your concern is always just the next one. And, obviously playing on the road, the Big East is hard, like it is in every league. It's hard to win on the road, which makes it so important to protect your home floor. And that's why, coming off a poor performance against Georgetown, where that Villanova game was so critical to us. And, we've got to try to build on that, as we move towards Tuesday, and then we'll deal with that long road stretch when it gets here.
Big picture question kind of sparked by the Shane situation. I know it's a long way off, but how have you kind of, with the roster changes and the 15 locked in, you guys have always done a good job of utilizing your scout team and bringing some walk-ons in. How do you view kind of your plan changing moving forward with the roster changes?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about it too in depth yet, but it's unfortunate that guys that are currently walk-ons aren't grandfathered into that. But I'm not going to leave a guy that's committed to our program and paid his own way for a few years. I'm not leaving him hanging. So if I have to hold a spot, I'm going to hold a spot. Loyalty has to be a two-way street, not a one-way street.
Actually, St. John's was pretty willing, especially in that second meeting last year, to take those mid-range shots you guys give up. How do you combat that in the coverage?
Yeah, I mean, they had some guys that were elite at it last year, and their guards are obviously great again this season and can get to those spots. So we have to mix up the looks and give them some different looks so that they don't feel comfortable. And that's what these next couple days of practice are all about.
Favorite memory of 2024?
Boy. Cubs didn't win the World Series, so that's not it. No, they didn't. It was probably the Kansas game. That was just that was a fun part of it. And in the NCAA tournament run in March, with that group of guys back to another Sweet 16, That was a pretty special time with a special group of guys.
Matt, you said you guys are pretty good health-wise. How's Steven's ankle doing?
Yeah, he's a little banged up. He kind of gets put through the ringer every time he steps on the floor with some physicality, and he got a hip pointer late in that game against Villanova that he's still fighting with a little bit. It's bothering him, but he shows up and he comes out here and plays his tail off every day. He'll be ready to go. Thank you.
Thanks.